Hey guys, welcome back to Planet Tyro. I'm your host Donald Wonder, and I should be releasing this video at the end of September because it's been a kind of an uneventful month at Planet Tyro. October is going to be very different. We got a big thing happening in October, but we'll get to that later. But I want to end off September by talking about romance, because you know what, guys, I'm a romantic at heart. On Planet Tyro, we actually spoke about romance in anime and manga, where they deal with it in a very frustrating way. There are some good titles out there, but why don't we get to live action? I'm a Westerner. I was born in the West Hemisphere, and you know, I'm a Brit, and I really like romance movies. I don't like the sloppy, overdrawn, dumb romance movies that Hollywood try to schlock at you. I like the smart, intelligent ones that sometimes don't have a good ending, but have good food for thought and actually are kind of relatable and deal with real people. Now, I want to talk about 3 movies, 1, 2, 3, that 2 of them came out last year, 1 of them came out this year. All 3 of them, ironically, have female protagonists, and you know what? I enjoyed all 3 of them for different reasons. Now, to be honest with you, each of these kind of deserve their own video, but I'm just going to lump them together because I don't think they're going to get a lot of hits. And honestly, people are watching this video and they can see the title, which I'm going to put romantic in the title. You know, I'm going to give you a 3-for-1 deal. So the first movie I'm going to talk about is called Beyond the Lights. Beyond the Lights was released in 2014. It stars, is it Mbatha-Raw? I know that's a weird name. She did that movie Belle that I reviewed last year as well. And it deals with a British pop star who basically is going through a very dark phase in her career, who basically crashes and burns, and one of her security guards kind of, I don't want to say rescues her, but kind of shows her a lifeline. And it's you know, it's kind of typical to The Bodyguard in a sense, without the thriller aspects. Guys, you've seen this kind of story before. A popular pop star falls in love with a guy that's kind of below her level, but this isn't a typical pauper story. This movie is actually very well written, very well acted, has some really good actors. Minnie Driver, Danny Glover, the main characters, Mbatha-Raw, and the guy who's playing her security guard, he's actually really good. Guys, listen, you might have seen this movie 100 times before, you might have seen it in The Bodyguard like I mentioned before, but the thing I really like about this movie is it has sentiment. It's actually taking itself seriously, and I really enjoyed the maturity in this story. You can see that basically she's like a Rihanna type, and a lot of the things that are going on in this girl's career as a musician, it does remind you of Rihanna, especially the whole thing with Chris Brown and stuff like that. But honestly, I think I really like this movie, not only because it's good to see black actors doing a really good romance that isn't a black movie, I would say again. It's just a good romance dealing with realistic characters in a mature way. And honestly, I was blown away by this movie. And if that didn't sell you, this movie was actually nominated for an Oscar. And this is one that really, it got a lot of props online. Watch the trailer. I'll put a link to the trailer, guys. Watch the trailer. Then you'll trust me. I think it's a good movie. I'll give it a first class because I was really impressed by it. But I made some comments in the trailer about how this movie really impressed me. I was expecting something very, and what I got was a very mature movie about this woman, this young girl who had a really life as a superstar and really going off track, and she met this guy and they had a really interesting relationship. I don't want to go more into it, but I would say check it out, guys. If you appreciate my recommendation, I think you'll like this one. Moving on, Two Night Stand. Now this movie, there's a reason why I recommend this movie. Two Night Stand features Miles Teller. This was before Fantastic Four, by the way. And actually saying that, I think Miles Teller is a good actor. He might have made a bad choice in going with this Fantastic Four. I don't blame him for that, but getting onto the movie. Two Night Stand, the concept alone I really liked. It's about this young girl who's the main character, and she basically is coming off a relationship, and she decides that she just wants to have a one-night stand. She's just kind of lonely. I think it's New Year's Eve. She gets on a dating site like OkCupid, looks at this guy, looks for just any guy to sleep with, this douchey guy, and she meets this Miles Teller guy, and they have a one-night stand. Now the hook of the movie is, after the one-night stand, he goes to leave like a normal guy would do on a one night stand, and basically he can't leave because there's a snowstorm and they're locked in together. The reason why I'm recommending this movie is because this movie is kind of a movie for the youth today. Personally, I don't believe in soulmates. I believe you can find a lot of people you can fall in love with. I'm still looking for someone to fall in love with myself. And this movie, they have a dialogue. These two are stuck together after they have their one night stand. And the thing I found amusing about this movie is because they're stuck together, they talk about what happened in the one night stand. They talk about relationships. They talk about both of the experiences they've had. And I think if you watch this, if you've been in this situation, if you're in the dating scene right now, and like me, you've had some one or two successful dates, one or two one night stands, one or two just not. I think this movie kind of applies to the dating scene today, and it is, you know, there is some predictableness. And the movie, this isn't a movie I would recommend seeing in the cinema. It's a year old. You can rent it. I just think I like the dialogue in this movie. I actually like the commentary on the dating scene, and I actually appreciated where both of the characters were coming from, because both of them were coming from two opposite sides of the spectrum. One of them, Martin Teller, is kind of playing that douchey guy, but even his character isn't so douchey. And the girl's playing that innocent girl just looking for someone to love. But by the end of the movie, you see both perspectives and you get a good insight into the dating scene. I think it's appropriate for today. It's not a mind-blowing movie, but it's a definition of a solid B date movie. And I watched it and I thought, you know what? A lot of the things, I got something from this movie. I got from a dating perspective, from a romantic side of the movie. It is a little bit choky for a romance movie, but I got something from it and I'll give it a solid B. So let's move on to the last movie, which would be Trainwreck. This movie really surprised me. Is it Amy Poehler playing the main character? And Amy Poehler is like a comedian who's kind of raunchy, who just kind of tells it how it is. And this character she's portraying in this movie, she says it's based off her own experiences and kind of something she's kind of making up. This movie, when I watched the movie, when I saw the trailer, it looked like this woman who's just having all these one night stands. Basically, this was like a role reversal movie. I thought this was a role reversal of a woman who's kind of the opposite of, she's basically like a female bro. A female character who sleeps with a lot of guys, who doesn't really care about feelings. And when the movie starts, her father was basically like a cheating asshole who tells her that relationships are not meant to be, I don't believe in monogamy. You're meant to just sleep with people, have sex, have dates, don't settle down, have fun. So I heard this movie got a lot of great reviews, and I thought, let me check out this movie, because I'm really curious to see why this movie's getting a lot of reviews, because people I trusted really gave this movie high ratings. And after watching this movie, I was really impressed. The character Amy Sheila plays is that stuck-up, kind of fickle, kind of bro, female bro who's just dating, who just doesn't really care, who just is kind of fickle and superficial. But then she meets someone, and then her life kind of changes. And honestly, again, this was another kind of realistic portrayal of these people getting together, going through a relationship. It was funny, it was honest. I liked the characters, I liked the acting. This movie, honestly, really honestly, I like this movie the most out of the three, even though Beyond the Lights I really liked. But Trainwreck has a really good female protagonist. It's really funny, really honest. It's not a bro movie just from the female perspective, or a female bro movie. It's actually a really good romantic comedy. And I haven't seen one this good in a long time. I highly recommend this. I was thoroughly impressed. Not what I expected at all. And I'm going to give Trainwreck a first class. Very impressed. And it's getting really good word of mouth. But ironically, if we look at all three of these movies online, they haven't got good ratings. They've got like 6s and 5s. People generally do not like romance movies. I like smart romance movies. I don't like stupid ensemble cast. Let's say I love you, you know. Even the last kind of movies I saw, like that awkward moment, or that one with Ryan Gosling or whatever, they kind of missed the mark. I don't want to see nerd characters, all these lonely guys who dress up and then turn out to be like suave guys that get the woman. I don't give a fuck about that. And I do want to see more females represented in movies from the female perspective, not just being damsels in distress, not just being dumb women that just want a rich man. these movies I mentioned, these 3 movies are kind of more 3-dimensional. But you know what, if you don't like romances, you're probably not going to like any of them. But I really think there's something mature and kind of 3-dimensional about all these movies, and they're all different. So this video is going to be for people who want to see romance movies that are kind of interesting, kind of fun, and just kind of realistic. That's what I think anyway. But you know what, if I'm upscaling these movies too much, or if I'm front loading them, or you don't agree with me, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. But I just have to go back and talk about these because honestly guys, I'm a romantic at heart. I really do like romance movies that are intelligent and realistic. And on my birthday, later in October, I'm going to review one of my favourite romance movies of all time. That is a smart, witty one that has some food for thought, and that is very underrated. But I'll get to that then. But let me leave it at that, guys. If you agree with me, or you know, if you have any recommendations for good, smart romance movies that are dating movies, just anything you think is above average that hasn't got the respect it deserves, let me know in the comments down below. I'm happy to hear it, guys. Because if you didn't know, that we are romantic here at Planet Tyro with all the anime and manga stuff we're talking about, and now with this video here, now you know. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope to see you in the next one. Hit that subscribe button if you want more content to your YouTube feed. Hit that like button if you like the video. And guys, I do want to hear if you got something to say. Leave a comment down below. I'm going to say it again. But until the next one, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video, guys. Take care. Peace out.